Let's talk about the facial remodeling, because that's finally what we're doing. In the approval study I did with the doctors and surgeons, we noticed that the more you control the injection technique, the more you easily inject, and then you naturally inject more product for the same patient. It is then essential to disinfect, to aseptize the skin and correctly apply an antiseptic product. I will place the injection points by drawing small circles on the skin so I can see the skin. From this point, using this point, I inject like this, and from this other point, I inject like that to remodel the cheek. Then, right away, I make the point of the glabella. The fact to use and control this technique enables to get it only one session. The result we used to get in several sessions. I think that asset, the advantage of this injection technique, is that we can inject more product more easily with less pain for the patient, less bruises, less hematoma. It then makes the work easier because we can inject several syringes.
C'est plus une réalité qu'avant parce que on a cette possibilité de le faire.
Là, j'ai pris du deep line pour faire le sourcil et la glabelle.
I use deep lines to inject the eyebrow, the glabella. Then I will use ultra deep to inject the cheekbone and the back area of the cheekbone. Finally, I'll use global action on the marionette lines.
Du global action sur la zone de la commissure.
And then use kiss for the lips.
Sur les lèvres.
On a des produits qui sont merveilleux maintenant parce que
we now have great products. They are much better tolerated. Our technique is less invasive than before, more bearable. The gesture seems to be more important than before, but less aggressive. The risk of making an ecchymosis with a cutting and sharp needle is twice more important, perhaps even more than twice. First, I'll start injecting here, madam, in the area named the glabella, after the cheeks and the back of the cheeks. Afterwards, we will be able to inject the lips, the nasogenian folds and the commissural area. It is possible to reduce the wrinkles depth by injecting hyaluronic acid inside. It is necessary to always make the central point because veins are going through laterally. You put the point at the middle and you slide the needle under the vein. I always use the flexibility of the needle to slide into the skin. It is always more difficult to inject from the top to the bottom than from the bottom to the top. So you always must stretch the skin. It is always the same idea. We apply and spread the product so that it can diffuse itself in the subcutaneous area, like a coating. In most gestures made here, we don't make any ecchymosis, whereas before we put the needle at one point, then inject the product. Come out, re-inject, re-come out again, re-inject. So it was nearly sure to make an ecchymosis. Now the risk has been reduced from 50% to 4.7%.
La technique classique des mains,
The traditional technique for hands is to make a hole between each hollowed area of the metacarpus and to introduce a rigid cannula, like this one. It's painful. It requires anesthesia. The magic needle technique is completely different because it enables to go softly through the skin, injecting the product.
En positionnant la façon d'injecter, on glisse sous la peau, mais
we position the needle under the skin and inject the hyaluronic acid as coating, as American and Anglo-Saxon people say. We realize a coating, like a new layer under the papillary dermis. The skin regains shape and volume and looks younger.
Et donc ça redonne ce galbe à la peau un plus jeune qui a de la souplesse, etc.
Bon, pour les mains, il y a des différents protocoles, mais
To treat hands, there are different protocols. We make 2 holes in the same level.
on met à peu près central, au même niveau, les deux au même niveau.
One on each side. We always avoid veins because we'll go under the vein.
Les veines, parce qu'on va passer sous la veine, en fait. On met un peu de produit au départ.
First, we inject a little quantity of the product. We unstick a little bit the skin so that it can slide more easily.
Voilà, ensuite, ça glisse tout seul. We prefer high viscosity products because they are not spreading over and staying in the place where they have been injected, which means in depth. Gel will be applied later. This hyaluronic acid gel, specially designed for post-injection, is a strong asset as it completes the intervention a great deal. It is true that the hands treatment is an excellent indication for this technique, and the results are really amazing.
Sum up for the hands area according to the Dr. Herzog's method. The diameter of the needle used to make the incision is similar to or slightly larger than the one of the flexible needle. The incision should be made only by using the needle's beveled edge without inserting it in depth. 2 injection points are necessary and located on a transversal median line. Their position should be chosen in order to cover the entire cutaneous surface. The required injection technique corresponds to a retrograde method with the maintaining of the cutaneous area opposed to the direction of the needle. The injection is subcutaneous and should pass under the dorsal venous network of the hand. When treating the hands, the use of a 25 or 27 gauge needle is recommended.